Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Sonic Concepts. Last time I mentioned the idea of a Sonic Unleashed remaster. A Sonic Unleashed remaster would be a very good idea considering the fact the original was so divided based on something as trivial as one singular mode. And if they made a Sonic Unleashed remaster, they could fix public view of the game by making the Werehog segments better or give an option to get rid of them altogether. A remaster for Sonic Adventure 2 would be even better than a remaster for Sonic Unleashed, because if its major problems were fixed, I'm sure it would be seen as a masterpiece. The reason I think Sonic games are often labeled as bad is because they're great games with one big flaw that usually weighs it down. In the case of Sonic Adventure 2, it's the cutscenes that look terrible, and some gameplay features that are rushed. That's why a remaster would be a great choice for Sega. Here's some ideas I came up with for a Sonic Adventure 2 remaster. One of my ideas was the idea of you could play each character's story separately. Instead of playing as Hero Team and then Dark Team, you could play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, Shadow, or Rouge individually in their own campaigns. Another idea I had would be the opposite of that, and just play both stories in a sort of timeline, starting with Eggman releasing Shadow, and ending with all of them saving the world. That mode would be very good for making better sense of the story. I got this idea from Sonic Adventure, because in Sonic Adventure you had to start with Sonic. I don't like this because sometimes I'd rather start with another character. In one way, it made the game be received better considering the fact that Sonic was the most polished story in that game. Another thing that they could add to the remaster would obviously be a better Chao Garden, considering the fact that Chao Garden is often held as the best part of Sonic Adventure 2 for many people. One great thing that they could add to the Chao Garden is making it compatible with the phone app of Chao Garden, which would make a lot more people interested in Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2, respectively. Next, I'm going to go over some ideas for individual playstyles in Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic and Shadow, Knuckles and Rouge, Tails and Eggman. First up, I have some ideas for Sonic and Shadow. Sonic and Shadow would definitely have the least changes overall, considering they were already so well received and considered the best part of the game. My three nitpicks for Sonic and Shadow would definitely be, let them have better turning, map things other than just the A and B button, and let us continuously spin dash again. Next up, let's talk about the two characters I have the most problems with and would want the most to change, Tails and Eggman. Like most of the characters, I would like Tails and Eggman to have better controls, specifically better camera and better turning. I would also like that annoying buzz noise that happens when you hold the B button to be a lot quieter and a lot less annoying. The last feature is the most complicated feature I had in mind. Instead of just being on the ground, Tails and Eggman should also be able to fly, since they are both seen flying in their respective planes in the cutscenes. It almost seems like this was planned considering the fact Tails and Eggman have ramps in their levels that almost look like they would be used to change from walking into flight mode. Lastly, I would like to touch on Knuckles and Rouge. See, I don't know how much this would make sense from a story standpoint, but instead of being forced to get 3 out of 3 Emerald Shards, you should instead have to get 3 out of 5 Emerald Shards, or something along the lines of that. Instead of only having one radar go off, I would also like all 3 radars to be capable of going off. Next, I'm going into more general ideas. One idea I'm surprised isn't in the original game is a hard mode, considering the fact every level has a hard mode variation, but no compilation of which to play all hard mode levels. This next idea is a little weird, but it might be worth it if they're willing to put the work into it. In Sonic Forces, you're able to create your own custom avatar, and it's really weirdly done in that game. But what if they could update Sonic Forces to give every avatar a code, where you could use that code in future Sonic games to have that character appear. Through that, you could play as your custom character in any level in Sonic Adventure 2. This idea also leads into my next idea about multiplayer and having more options for characters by making characters alternate skins. And by having custom characters, you could let anyone play as their custom character in any of the modes. There doesn't need to be too many more characters in the multiplayer, considering there were already 4 per style in the original Sonic Adventure 2, but it would be nice to have a couple more, and to be able to play as them in the regular levels would be very much an appreciated thing. One thing that would make the multiplayer really great would be to have online multiplayer, so you could race other people in every level. I could see that feature making the game a lot more popular. Two things that kind of go with each other that I think would make a great Sonic Adventure 2 remake would be make the cutscenes better, obviously, but also maybe hire an independent animation company to actually do the cutscenes, to make the cutscenes really nice, almost as if it was a movie. If the game were to be in 4K, it would easily be the best looking Sonic game ever made. Another plot-related sentiment would be that if they were to make a Sonic Adventure 3, they should definitely tease it at the end of Sonic Adventure 2. That would be phenomenal. One fear I have regarding the 4K thing I said was the fact that Nintendo Switch doesn't have 4K, and if it were to be too hard to run on the Nintendo Switch, that they would either have to make a downgraded version for the Switch or not put it on the Switch entirely. Even if it's not able to run on the Nintendo Switch, and this is coming from someone that only has a Switch, I would rather them make a great looking Sonic game only on PS5 and Xbox Series X than a mediocre Sonic game on all consoles. Two of the last points I have to make are the most important points out of all of them. The first point being that it should appeal to all game fans and not just Sonic fans. I shouldn't have to only watch Sonic YouTubers to say good things about the game. All gamers should have good things to say about Sonic Adventure 2 Remastered. And the number one most important thing that they have to do about the game, they can't rush it. It needs to be well put together and not rushed. It has plagued too many Sonic games thus far. If it takes 5 years, if it takes 10 years, they need to make this game the best it can be. I would rather have an objectively perfect Sonic Adventure 2 remaster for the 45th anniversary, rather than a mediocre Sonic Adventure 2 remaster for the 35th anniversary. That's all for today, so until next time, this has been Speedglider Productions, and this has been an episode of Sonic Concepts.